And so what was your process in getting these printed? Because you now have, a new volume pretty much every year at this point.
Yeah, there was 1 year where one didn't come out because things got really busy with the shop around the time when we first acquired it. But the newest one, which is volume 4, is actually 2 years worth of comic strips, along with original material. The thing that I like best about this book is, if you had a chance to flip through it, Omar, because I know you have a copy, is it starts with a 7-page original story where my wife and I talk about our first love and our first heartbreak. And of course, my first love was a comic book. It was, my story was about when I was a kid and I mowed lawns all summer long to earn $300 to buy a copy of Amazing Spider-Man #1. And then you read what happened to it in a rainstorm, and that, of course, was my heartbreak. And then being able to draw Kristen in high school as like the little goth girl with the Cure T-shirt on just cracks me up. So
I love it. And I think you do such an amazing job of connecting with that, and like everyone kind of experiencing. We've all had that first heartbreak, and you're able to tell that story in such a cool way. With the fourth volume now, you finally kind of switched the format, because all of them used to be
landscape,
yeah, and
like
then you've now switched to vertical, which is the more traditional comic book way.
Right.
So it's interesting that over time it's just kind of changed into this way. So it's
plus it's
really
a lot
cool.
cheaper to print that way. That was really the main reason.
Really,
when you print in
Landscape?
this landscape format like this, the binding is done a little differently. They don't quite have the machines. Not all print shops have the machines needed to do the binding in horizontal, and a lot of them have to do it with machines where they're doing each one by hand, and it's more time consuming, takes a little longer. But the guy that I have that did the second, third, and fourth one, I mean, he did such great jobs with these, but it costs a little more. So when I contacted him, and he hated me.
He had to do it by hand.
Yeah. So when I contacted him to do the fourth one, I told him, don't worry, I'm not doing it landscape. I'm doing it traditional comic book format. And he was like, oh, thank God. He says, by the way, I couldn't have done it that way anyway, because the machine where I do them each by hand broke.
Wow. So what was the process in getting them printed?
Well, the first 2 I did with Kickstarter campaigns.
What was your experience with Kickstarter?
Well, I was lucky enough that I had a friend who's also in the business. He's one of the marketing guys over at Stranger Comics. And he sat me down and he said, if you want your Kickstarter to work, these are the things you have to do. This is how you have to do it.
What did he tell you?
Well, the main thing that he told me was, 1, every level, everyone has to get a copy of the book. There's no, hey, pledge $1, pledge $5 or whatever, and they just get like a bookmark or something. That's just, it's cheating.
Yeah.
It's cheating the person. So I started with a level which, honestly, it was so many years ago, I don't remember. But I started with a level where the first one you get a copy of the book, and then it builds from there. And so everyone that pledged got a copy of the book, along with a bunch of other stuff, depending on where they pledged. I mean, they got a T-shirt, collector's T-shirt. They got original art from one of my comic strips. And the thing that made it easy was I already had the T-shirts made up that I was already selling on my website. Every week I do a new strip, so I have the comic strips. All that stuff is not costing me anything. But to them, there's a perceived value because I'm selling them for a certain amount on the website. So the rewards I had didn't really cost that much at all.
They were already created.
They were already created. Yeah. So the thing that, and also what he said was that at each level, you want to give people value. You want to give them at least what you would charge them on the website for those items or more. So when they're pledging, they're thinking, wow, I'm pledging this much and I'm getting all this stuff. It's a great deal. As opposed to people you see, like I said, you're pledging $20 and all you're getting is like a button or something. Or worse yet, you are seeing Kickstarters where people are saying, well, if I get the money, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I was already showing them in the Kickstarter, hey, this is the material. It's already done. I've done all the work. I've formatted all the pages. I've got it all together. It's in a file. It's literally ready to go to the printer. All I need is the money to do it, and all of you are going to get a copy of the book and more. So the idea that he told me was, you want to make them feel like they're not just backing you to get the book made. They're actually pre-ordering the book at that point.
Absolutely.
And I'm friends with some people that absolutely hate Kickstarter because they think it's just taking money from people. But the truth is, I'm running it the way people are thinking. No, they're not taking
You're
my
running
money
it the right way. I'm getting value.
I'm putting my order in. You know, yeah, it might take a few months to get the book, but I'm putting my order in for this book, and I'm getting all the stuff for it.
That's what it's about. It's about giving the customer the best possible experience possible.
Exactly.
And once you're able to do that, then people are going to keep coming back and continue to back your campaigns and go from there. The goal is to create the thing you love in this comic, and it's pre-selling the book. It's Kickstarter to me is just another vehicle for people to go and sell it somewhere.
Exactly. So that when the part of Kickstarter where you're filling it out and people are reading, they say, well, you know, what are the trying to think of the word
challenges or
what are the challenges that you face in this, and I can easily say there are none. This is done. It's done. All I got to do is get it funded, and it goes right to the printer. So there's no challenge to this. When I did the second book, same thing. I still had T-shirts. I had all the original art where I could say, hey, pick which one that you like, which one's your favorite, and you get the book and you get the original art. And in, you know, other levels you get both books. If you didn't get book one yet, you're just jumping on the second Kickstarter. Well, at this level, you get the new book and you get the past book. And in the Kickstarter for the second book, I even pulled out some nice comics from my own collection. And I said, hey, at this level, you can pick any one of these key issues out of my personal collection and get that and the book. So people went nuts for that.
I can imagine.
They're getting good stuff.
Yeah, that's so cool.